Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 and today we're in Parkitect. In the last episode we took a look at disaster peaks. So today I'd like to take a look at Robopark. Build a state-of-the-art amusement park featuring expensive high-tech rides and roller coasters on an empty peninsula that has previously been used as a research facility. Scenario: have at least 600 guests in your park, have no loan debts, have an overall park rating of at least 80%, and have a profit from rides of at least $1,500. Your optional goals are to have at least 200 guests in your park, which you'll have to do to get the 600 guests, and this will give you a ton more money to build with. And your second optional to get your second gold medal is to complete all non-optional goals by the end of September year 3. And I thought this one was actually fairly easy to do because I managed to do this one without feeling too pressured actually. So this one I found to be a really nice fun little scenario. Now because it's a Robopark, you could go all completely sci-fi and theme it all around research facilities or rocket ships or just play around with it. So because I thought Robopark and stuff, as you can see, I've kind of gone for a sort of blue and metallic theme. So I've used metal paths in this grey metallic look for all the paths, and I've used blue in a lot of areas for buildings and metallic looking roofs and things to keep it all within that Robopark theme. So this is the entrance to the park. This is where your guests come in. And here is your receiving goods area. If I drop the scenery, you can see the buildings for the goods coming in right here. So as usual, I've built my little main street and food court right next to these buildings just to make it all nice and convenient for the haulers to get the stuff from the receiving area into the shops as fast as possible. And I've added a staff room in the back of this food court building right here. So if we zoom down here, you can see we've got the staff room right here, little staff path straight to the depot for the haulers, making it nice and simple for them. We've got snow cones, we've got the customizable shop which is set up as a vending machine, so I wanted to keep the vending machine in the food court and not have it as a separate standalone vending machine, so we've got a guy being the vending machine. Then we've got burgers. Hey, you need to get that clean, guys, we don't want anybody getting sick. And then 8 fruit juicers. So I did have to research a little bit to get the soft drinks in here, and we got fruit juices first, so that's our main drinks along with the pop from the vending machine. As I say, I made this a metallic-y roof. If we rotate around, you can see we've got the metal roof and we've got like metal walls. I did make a slight mistake here because this shape, this corner of this roof, they can't match that corner shape to fill that tiny last little gap with this particular wall paneling. I didn't want it to be mismatched, so we just have to have that little tiny open gap to a bit of ventilation, that's what we'll say it is. And I've used the little glass overhangs for sunshades at the front of the building to keep in with this metallic look and theme. And as you can see, I've got my entertainers as little robots. Yes, off to the staff room with you, little tired bod. So little robots as entertainers. And I've used the sci-fi benches and rubbish cans and lighting to stick with this theme. I've made myself a little open square area with the metallic path around the edge, and then this cracked stone path in the centre in a white colour just for a little bit of contrast. Make it stand out as a seating area, just to make it have a little bit more of a feature in the centre here. Of course, using the little curbs to be able to place benches in this centre area by making the curbs make it at the edge of the path. I've added a little fountain at the edge of the path here, kind of like fountains in the middle of path structures, but I just didn't feel like I wanted to utilise that middle space here and waste that space. I liked it better as an open seating area, so I've put the little fountain right on the corner as a feature to lead you into the rest of the park, and I've added a toilet right next to it right here. I've used the flowers in black and white to kind of match the toilet, and also to have that kind of vibe of sci-fi contrasting colours, keep that kind of going through the park. So the first rides that you come to in this particular park are the drop tower. In this case, I keep clicking on people instead of rides. So it's the Skyfall drop tower, this one. So if I zoom out, can I zoom out far enough for you to actually see the top of the drop tower? So it goes really tall up and gives them a view kind of all the way across the park. So if you're on this front section, you'll see the roller coaster opposite, and if you're on that section, you can have a view out towards the sea. And they've got this pretty little cluster of trees behind the goods receiving depot, so we've got a little bit of something to see, and we've also got the flowers going all the way around. I'm just waiting for this drop tower to fall so that you can actually see it in action. It's giving them that anticipate. Oh, there we go. Spin and drop. There you go. And then just on the outside you've got some interesting buildings. So this is all part of the research facility originally, isn't it? So you've got like a research building out here as scenery, and also a water tower right next to the entrance. So right opposite the food court you can see what looks like a coaster, but actually if you look a little bit closer, it's not really a coaster. It's actually a dark ride. It's the inverted dark ride model, but I've actually utilised it as a coaster because when we first started the park, that was the closest thing I've got really to a coaster that I could use in the park, and it actually works out really well. I've just added a lot of bright coloured trees around it for a little bit of scenic decoration, and if you zoom in a little bit closer you can see I've added some like researchy spacey things. I've got a radar dish over here and a closed pod for one over here, and used all these colours to match in with the theming on the space stuff, and we've got a rocket in the middle just to be a nod to the research facility. And the reason I wanted to go for the rocket is if you go further down the path here, we've got this little set of buildings right here that came with the park, and there is actually a rocket there. So it looks like a launch pad. So when it says a research facility, and you actually see this here, it kind of looks like a rocket launching facility. So that's why I went for the sort of rocket theme for our inverted dark ride right at the entrance to the park. And I love the way these inverted dark rides turn around and twist. The seats twist around as you go around the ride to look at things. I like that, I really like that. So if you continue down this main street, it runs a double wide path straight down to where this rocket facility would be. And this rocket facility is built on a little rise in the centre, so I kind of started to make this a feature for some other rides. So straight down the end of Main Street, so if you look down from Main Street, come straight down Main Street, past the inverted dark ride, past the drop tower, you've got a G-lock right here, and as you can see I've turned all the rides into a sort of grey metallic white sort of sheen to them all to keep in with that theme. And then just off to the side here we've got the double Ferris wheel, which is actually classed as a calm ride. I would have thought maybe a medium intensity rather than calm. And then straight in front of you we've got a wild mouse, and I built like a metallic research facility styled structure for the station building, and I'm quite proud of that. I think that really fits in quite well with the design of the rocket structure buildings just behind it. Look, it's got this corrugated metal and sort of grey and white struts around it, and then this little building with the white and got a little bit of purple, but white and metallic again was all part of the original structure of the park. So we've got a very traditional little wild mouse here, which has a nice small footprint and fits quite nicely right next to this building. So these buildings of course give the wild mouse a high scenery rating because that was already there. And then to the side of this, utilising this little raised mound where the rocket structure is, I've also added an inverted double swing and an observation tower and a top scan. So really wanted to use this centre section as a bit of a feature. As you can see, I haven't gone all the way around it because I managed to complete the scenario much faster than I expected. But I really like this little cluster of things around this rocket tower, so we've used this as kind of a feature to see from all of these rides around it. So that adds scenery rating to all of these rides and gives them all a good interaction with one another. And the observation tower, of course, right being in the centre like this, gets to view out over the rocket and all these other rides, and it's smack dab in the middle of the area that you've got for your park, so it would be a great spot for the observation tower as well. And just off to this side, the only other ride on this side is the turbine, and again I've used this black and white planting all the way around the edges there to unify them all and to tie the colours in to the whites and greys of all the buildings and the rides for the tech theme and the building tech theme. So from this centre section, if we move in this direction past the double Ferris wheel, we've got another drop tower. This time it's the launched drop tower, so this one kind of bounces the guys up and down with a bit more force than the other one, as you can see there. And this overlooks the water again, so if you're looking in that direction you see the water, and then you can see around the park if you go on different sides of this launched drop tower. And if we head in this direction, we have the Phoenix State model for the coaster, and we can follow that around maybe. No, that's not from the... oops, it's not trying to save. Let's follow. Can we follow the car? Or is that going to take them a little... I don't know then, maybe they're not ready. This is one of the pre-built coasters. It's the flying coaster. So there you go, there's the Phoenix model there, that's the one that I've popped in. And the reason I've used that one is look how neatly this fits in this little bit of space on the side right here. It just fits perfectly into the space that I've got, so that's really cool. And that of course saves me trying to build coasters, because the last time I tried to build one of these big coasters I had a few accidental problems with my ride mechanics, so I definitely need to practice building more coasters, but this just fits so beautifully in here. And then I've built again a very simple station building, but utilising again these white walls, corrugated metal walls, and the grey corrugated metal roofs. I just think it looks wonderful, this as a sort of metallic robot research facility theme, and as I said, it matches the colours and styles and materials that they've used in this little building in the centre right here. And that brings us right to the end of the park, and the very final thing that we've added over here is another drop tower. This time it's the Gyro drop tower, so at the top it spins around and gives you a bit of a view before it drops back down. So it's kind of a combination of drop tower and observation tower, isn't it, this one? But I like having these drop towers, especially the more observational ones, in what would be the centre of your build area. And as you can see, we've got quite a lot more space to build, lots of open land that we didn't need to use, and of course you've got water all around because it's peninsula, so you could add quite a lot of water rides as well if you wanted to build a more permanent structure. So this again I think would be a great scenario to utilise to build your own park on. So that is the park that I built for the Robopark scenario, and I did manage to get the gold, both of the gold medals for this one. Hope that this has given you some inspiration for your own build. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From SoftKitty99, goodbye and happy gaming!